I want to make sure that you know everything about this one. So, number one thing which makes many people be denied this application is the photo. So we need to know, how do you go about it? How do you make sure that your photo is going to be correctly? How should we do that? How are you going to take the photo if you are far from the studio? How do you take the photo to make sure that this photo is going to meet the requirements? That is crucial in this application. I'm going to share with you tricks you can use to take a photo. And then, at the same time, I'm going to give the ways you can make sure that when you go even to ask someone to edit the photo already will be easier for the person to edit, but not to make a lot of mistakes or a lot of editing, even the photo not to appear as the correct photo of you. So, let me start with this question. What device are you allowed to use to take a diversity visa lottery photo? What device? Is it a requirement you must use a camera? Is it a requirement? Is it a requirement you must use a phone? Is it a requirement to use a tablet? What device is it allowed? If you go to the DV lottery instructions, obviously, you'll be advised to use, obviously, a camera, because these instructions were made many years ago. They're just changing one line, maybe whatever. Obviously, the point is not about what device you can use. The point is the quality of the device. For instance, this camera I just bought not long ago, just like last week. This camera is about $600. But this iPhone is 1,400, something like that, because it was iPhone 13 Pro Max, 1,000 GB, 1 terabyte. So this one might be able to take a better photo than this camera, unless otherwise you have to buy a very good lens to take a photo better than this camera of this phone. This phone will take better pictures than this Techno, whatever phone, whatever it is, I don't know. So you see, there'll be that way. So the point is not what device. The point will be the quality of the camera you are having. It's not about being a camera like this way, or it's just like the camera from the tablet. If you use, let's say, the newest iPad, it will give the best photo ever. But the majority of you obviously have accessibility to cell phone. So these are the things you need to pay attention if you want to use a cell phone to take your photo. Number one, don't take the photo as a selfie. Don't do that. Because if you do this way, it will squeeze your face to be in this way. It will be this way. The photo must be taken this way, on a horizontal, not on a vertical portrait. No. That's number one. Number one, don't take a selfie. Number two, it has to be on horizontal. Number three, you have to use the back camera, not the front camera. The front camera, yes, it takes pictures, but even no matter what, it is not a strong lens or strong camera compared to the back camera. That is another part. Another thing, when you are taking the photo, the person, don't take it by yourself. Ask a person to take a photo of you. Don't be too close to the person. Leave at least 2 meters. Leave a distance. So when you take a photo, it is appropriate. It is in a proportional. That is not too space above, not too whatever, but it gives you some sort of a place where you can be able to take that kind of photo. So that is another tip to do. But if you are going to take a photo again, make sure you use a background which is white. Yes, it might not be a pure white background, but find a way to have a photo which will be able just to have a plain background, so that when you go to edit, you don't need to do so much Photoshop. So there are various examples of photos. Leave a space. Look someone in the eyes. Don't look on the side. Don't start like looking on the side that one ear will be able to see, another one will not be able to see. No. Make sure when you take the photo, don't wear glasses of any kind. Don't wear glasses. No, not allowed. Make sure you don't wear hat, don't wear uniform. When I'm talking about uniform, I'm talking about you are a doctor, you want to wear the coat as a doctor. Maybe let's say you are someone as a police officer, or you are in the military in your country, you want to wear the military uniform. No. Don't do that. Let's say if you're a Catholic priest or Catholic sister, yes, you wear those as part of religious reason, you are allowed. Just like hijab, you are allowed, but don't wear the hijab, the one you cover everything, just the eyes, like burqa, whatever is. No, you wear the hijab which allows you to show your face, and you wear hijab if it's your daily religious belief. You wear hijab every day. Not you wear hijab today, tomorrow you are going to the beach with a bikini. Next day you are going to play. No, if you are wearing hijab, is every throughout hijab. Don't wear like in a regular basis, like on a daily basis. Just take a normal photo to be in the safe side. Another thing is this way. When you go to take the photo, make sure that, because some people, they have wigs, like especially ladies, and the wigs can be like completely covering everything. Like, make sure the eyes, the ears are there. If you wear the earrings, don't be too much like, no. If you put a makeup, don't put too much makeup. So those are some of the tips you can be able to use taking those kind of taking out of those photos. So once you take those photos, you'll be able to edit them. So how do you edit them, these photos? Obviously, there will be a before, and then there will be after. Before and after. Meaning, the before photo is a raw photo you have taken. The photo you are taking doesn't have the official, doesn't have official requirements or measurements for the application. The photo, obviously, you will be taking will be maybe, depending if you're using a camera, can be more than 240 kilobytes. Or it can have whatever measurements is not 600 by 600. So the before photo is the raw. The after photo is the one you are going to make sure that is going to be in the measurements, to make sure that the background is pure plain, is pure white, with this almost like a 2x2, whatever, like a square, something like that. It has to be 600 times 600 resolution, whatever pixels. And then the weight of the photo should not exceed 240 kilobytes. The good thing, if it is going to exceed, it will tell you it is above. But if you leave the background is yellow, blue, red, it will go the photo, but it will be denied. The photo, it has to be with white background. So that is something you make sure that you understand what I mean in that way. Before and after. So there are some people want to know we used to have the website which helps you to edit photos, but nowadays it's very, very difficult. So I have a service to help people to edit their photos. So if you go to the website, my website, which is ebmscholars.com, if you go to my website, ebmscholars.com, then you'll be able to see DV photo editing. If you go to the DV photo editing, you'll be able to see that you can be able to send me your raw photo and they can edit for you for a very small amount of fee. Just for $3, I'll be able to edit the photo, make sure that it meets all the requirements for the photo. So make sure that you take a lot of photos, like 3, 4, 5 photos, you send to me. I'll choose the photo which meets the requirements, and then you'll pay online. There'll be over there the way to pay. You pay online, you send the photo, I will edit it for you, and I will send it back to you so that you can use the photo which meets the requirements for you to be able to be among the winners. So go to the EBM Scholars and you'll be able to find the photo editing service over there. So you send the photo, like if you take multiple photos, like 3 photos, you send those 3 photos to this email, ebm@ebmscholars.com. And there's some people that have already started doing that. Email is ebm@ebmscholars.com. You send the receipt of payment. So if you are taking 1 photo, you click here. 2 photos, $6. And 3 photos, 4 photos, whatever. Yeah, so it's to make sure that way we can do that. But my opinion would be, it will be easier and cheaper, even, because if you do online, it is $7 most of the companies, but I do $3 to edit the photo. But you can come to the EBM Scholars here. You can see the DV Lottery application. What you can do, you can send the photo, and I will send you the information. And then I can do the full application for you now. So you can take the photos, send to me the photo along with the information. I will send you the information in Microsoft Word. You send me the information. I will edit photo to meet the requirements, and I'll go to do the application for you. So that will be another way you can be able to do that way. So just go to my website, ebm@ebmscholars.com. You'll be able to see that service too. So those about the photo. Make sure the photo is number 1 important thing. If you go to look the reasons as to why many people don't win the diversity visa lottery, there are so many reasons. The number 1 reason, obviously, is the number of applications is higher than the number of winners who are supposed to be the winners. For instance, the previous diversity visa lottery application, the number of applicants was 22 million. This we call the number of qualified applications, 22 million. The number of winners of the DV 2024, the results which came out on May 2023, the winners were 143,000 winners. What does that mean? It means in every 155 applications, 1 person was the winner. That is the range. That is the probability. That is the ratio. How many winners in how many applications? 1 winner in every 155 applications. But if you take away, if you remove the reason of being like so many applications and they want fewer winners, it means if you go to other factors, then the number 1 factor, number 2, the biggest factor, apart from the number of applications, is the photo. So your photo must be taken seriously. Because if you don't do that seriousness, you are going to be denied to be the winner just because of the photo. And the photo, some people, they concern more about the photo of themselves as the main applicant, but the photo of the derivatives, the photo of the dependents don't meet the requirements. They will eliminate you. So if you are the main applicant, make sure your photo to meet the requirements. Also, the photo of your child must meet the requirement. The photo of your spouse must meet the requirements. Make sure that the photo must meet the requirement of yourself and the derivative. If your photo is good, the photo of your spouse is not good, you are going to lose. So don't go to the studio, take the photo of yourself and ask a teacher in the school boarding, the teacher to take the photo of your son or your daughter with a broken lens of the techno. The photo doesn't meet the requirement. The teacher is taking the photo of your child, doesn't know where to position the child. The sun is behind, so it is dark in your face. There is a shadow. You are going to be denied. Make sure that you are well prepared for the photo of yourself and the photo of your dependents when you go to apply for the diversity visa lottery. Take it seriously. It is better not to win just because there are so many applicants than not to win because of the photo. Last year, I went to Tanzania and I was doing applications for some people. So I took the photos using camera and applied for them. So many people have been able to win. So this year we are doing in Tanzania and in Kenya. But send us the photo also online. We'll be able to see, to review, and help you to apply if you want that way. Because some people, they want to use the photo they used last year. Because you went to the studio last year, you have a very nice photo. You want to use the same photo used for the DV lottery application. Don't do that. Not allowed. So the photo is very, very important. Are you allowed to use the photo which you used in the previous diversity visa lottery application? Are you allowed? We have been talking about the photo to meet certain requirements. But if you go to the diversity visa lottery instructions, it is clearly stating that this is from the official Department of State, from the instructions for the diversity visa lottery, that use of a photo taken within the last 6 months, don't use the photo which has been taken longer than that. It has to be within 6 months. That's number one. Obviously, they are not going to know if you are taking the old photo, but don't do that. Do not reuse photos from the previous entries, or you'll be disqualified. Don't use the photo you used from the last year's DV lottery application. That is part of the DV lottery instructions. If you do that, you are going to put yourself into the harm's way. I don't mean that it's a guarantee you are going to be denied. I've seen some people who have been denied, but I've seen some people who are attempting to apply with the previous DV lottery photo and they won. But that doesn't mean that right now you have to take that chance. Don't take that chance for the going to do something which you know for sure you are going to be denied. Instructions are very, very important to follow. Make sure that you use the photo which are meeting the requirements. And some of those requirements, if you go to the instructions, they're like this way. It has to be in a digital form, not a PDF. It has to be in color. You have to be in focus. You have to look like you be in focus, not out of focus. Those kind of things. Don't wear uniform. Taken within the last 6 months. Plain white background. You have to face the camera. Neutral expression. Not like, hey, cheese. No, this is not a cheese moment. Taken in clothing that you normally wear on daily basis. Meaning, don't start like, I have to wear tie, suit. Like, I mean, if you wear on daily basis, it's okay, but it's not. They're not going to do that way. Whatever. Don't wear the uniform unless otherwise is part of something you wear on daily basis as a religious reason, not as just for work purposes. Don't wear hat. Don't whatever those kind of things. So those are the things they are going to make sure that it has to be in JPG or JPEG format. It should not be more than 240 kilobytes, not exceeding that. It has to be a square ratio. Dimension, pixels, it has to be 600 and 600 pixels. Those are the most important things you need to make sure that you understand. Do not submit a photograph older than 6 months, or do not submit a photograph that does not meet all the requirements which I've described below. Submitting the same photograph that you submitted with a prior year's entry, don't do that, because that photograph, or even a photograph which has been manipulated, too much digital editing, too much, you will be likely ineligible, not eligible to win the DV lottery. You will be eliminated in that way. So the photograph is everything, people. So don't assume, oh, because last year I went to the studio and I paid maybe $3 and I got this nice photo, I'm going to reuse that photo. Yes, you can win. I used my nephew 1 year, and the following year I used the same one because I didn't have any photo, whatever, but the person won. But don't take a chance. Don't go to take unnecessary chances, which you are likely to be eliminated in that way. How many times are you allowed to apply for the diversity visa lottery? How many entries are you allowed to submit? Each person will be allowed to do 1 application. I'm talking as a main applicant. Ernest Boniface Makulilo, I'm the main applicant, I apply. But if I go and do application, and then after doing the application, I come to find out, instead of maybe writing the correct date of birth, I put a wrong date of birth. Instead of a month, I put date, and the day I put a month. Maybe I made, or the year I mix up the year. Or I come to find out, when I was doing the application, I put the incorrect place of birth. Or I put incorrect spelling. Or rearranging of the names from the last name I put the first, middle, whatever. I put it that way. No matter what mistake you have done in the